My husband's ex-wife asked if I could be her daughter's birthing partner, and it changed our blended family forever. When I married David 3 years ago, I knew I was also committing to a relationship with his 16-year-old daughter Tashitz. Her mother Jen had primary custody, and our early interactions were exactly what you'd expect: paired, awkward, guarded, and tinged with unspoken competition. Mia was diagnosed with autism at age 7. She struggles with change and emotional expression, but she's brilliantly creative and honest to a fault. The first time I met her, she looked me up and down and said, "Dad says you make him happy." That's good, because he was sad for 847 days after the divorce. I knew then that this extraordinary girl would change my life. For 2 years, I navigated the complex terrain of stepmotherhood. I learned that Tashitz needed her sandwich cut into perfect squares, not triangles. I discovered that she couldn't wear certain fabrics, and that fluorescent lights could trigger meltdowns. I attended her therapy sessions and celebrated when she made eye contact for more than a few seconds. Jen watched all of this with initial suspicion that gradually transformed into something like respect. Our text exchanges about tennis's schedule evolved from cold and formal to occasionally including a funny anecdote or shared concern. Then came the phone call that changed everything. "Mia's pregnant," Jen said without preamble when I answered. Tashitz was only 19 in her first year of community college, and still needed substantial support in daily life. "Does David know?" I asked, trying to process. "Not yet. Tashitz wanted me to tell you first," Jen replied, her voice breaking. "She wants you there when she gives birth, not me." The silence stretched between us. "She says you are the only one who doesn't make her feel broken," Jen continued, her voice barely a whisper. "You never try to fix her, you just accommodate her exactly as she is." I was speechless. Tashitz and I had grown close, but I never imagined I'd replaced her mother in her heart. "I know," she interrupted. "That's why she loves you, and it's why I am calling. I am asking if you'll be her birthing partner, but I am also asking if you'll help me learn how to be more like you with her." 6 months later, I stood on one side of Tashitz during labor, coaching her through breathing techniques I'd learned in our birthing classes. Jen stood on the other side, following my lead, but adding her own maternal instincts that I could never replace. When Tashitz's daughter finally arrived, parent a beautiful, screaming testament to new beginnings. Parent Tanich looked up at both of us and said something I'll never forget. "I have 2 moms here. That means my daughter has 3 grandmothers. That's more love than most people get." Later that night, as Tashitz slept with her newborn daughter on her chest, Jen and I sat in the hospital cafeteria, sharing cold coffee and warm tears. "Thank you for not taking my place," she said, "but for making it bigger." That was 2 years ago. Now our unusual family gathers every Sunday for dinner. Tashitz's daughter calls me Gamma and Jen Nana, distinctions that matter less and less as time goes on. David watches all this with quiet amazement, occasionally whispering to me, "How did we get so lucky?" I still remember the day 6 months after the birth, when Tashitz's first called me mom in casual conversation. She immediately looked at Jen, panic flashing across her face, but Jen just smiled and said, "It's okay, honey. Some people are lucky enough to have 2. Sometimes family isn't what you are born into or even what you marry into. Per tale, it's what you build together. One accommodation, one compromise, one shared moment of grace at a time." Have you ever had an unexpected moment that transformed a difficult relationship into something beautiful?